Well, I am so pleased this morning to have the opportunity to speak once again to Sandra Girlato about the upcoming Montessori Advanced Studies Conference. And welcome. And first of all, I just want to thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I am so excited for the people that come to see you and to hear all your words of wisdom. So I just want to make sure and get those thank yous out there very first, because appreciate it deeply. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Debbie, and thank you for the invitation. I'm really looking forward to this opportunity to be there.
Oh, it should be fun. So, I wanted to ask you just a few short questions. The first of which is, we have your bio and know the statistics and all of the experience and knowledge that you've gained. But what I'm wondering is, what is it that drew you to Montessori?
Okay, so thank you for that question. It's always kind of a tricky question because there's so many elements when you're in it to just dissect and say, well, this is what drew me. But I guess, I'll try to keep the story very, very short. But I read Maria Montessori's work, The Absorbent Mind, in Italian when I was 15 years old. And I really didn't know what I had in my hand. It was really the reason I took it out of the library, I borrowed it from the library because Italian is my first language. And I found this book written in Italian. And I thought that's an interesting title, The Absorbent Mind. I didn't know anything about the author, Dr. Maria Montessori. I didn't know anything about the topic, but I read it. And being a 15-year-old, I think I was drawn into the chapters more and more because of the author's fundamental reverence and respect for human beings. And when you're 15, you hate everybody and everything. You're in that teenage angst. Teachers don't understand you, your parents don't understand you, and you're trying to find your way at that third plane of development. The book felt like it spoke directly to my heart. I
Oh,
read the whole thing. I kind of locked it away in my heart, but took the book back to the library and in essence forgot about it because I didn't know that it went beyond this book. And many, many years later, probably maybe about a decade later, I came to know that probably about 5, 10 minutes from my home was a Montessori training center. And I thought, oh, wait a minute, Montessori, I've heard that name before. So at that time, I was a stock and bond trader for one of the larger financial companies here in Canada. And the youngest stock and bond trader in Canada at the time, and one of very, very few women. But I took a day off work and I went up to this training center, fundamentally knocked on the door, and this beautiful woman answered the door. And I introduced myself and I said, hi, I'm Sandra Girlato, and I've come to find out what this Montessori thing is about. And she introduced herself and she said, I'm Mrs. Montessori. It's nice to meet you. And I said, oh my gosh, Mrs. Montessori, I read your book. Your book is excellent. Oh my goodness me. It's called The Absorbent Mind. I went on and on like a complete blithering fool. And she said, no, no, hold on. That wasn't my book. That was my grandmother's book.
oh,
But I still thought, oh my God, I'm close to whoever wrote this book, right?
yes.
Maybe it wasn't her, but her grandmother. So we kind of got really engaged in conversation because I told her also that I had read it in Italian and whatnot. And so this was Renilde Montessori, of course, Mrs. Dr. Montessori's granddaughter. And she toured me through the training center and told me all about this thing that went on there. I call it a thing now because it was not even in my thinking at all. And after visiting with her for probably about, I would say about an hour, I went home and I had a kind of an epiphany. And I thought, I need to do this thing. There's a formal training for this thing. And so I wrote up my resignation to my work and I
That's
took it
amazing.
into the office the next day and I resigned my position. And that September, I was in the training.
I mean, that is such a powerful story for so many reasons. And I think the immediate thing that I realize is, it's hard for us to see the impact of our work today on the adults of the future. And the fact that
Yes.
you read that when you were 15 and kind of filed it away, but then it spoke to you again so strongly later, I think really is encouraging for those of us practicing that really we are making a difference. We might not hear it today, but we will certainly see it in the children in the future. So
I think so, Debbie. I think that's
amazing.
absolutely correct. I mean, it was a little seed that was planted, and
Yes.
we don't know where our seeds will germinate, sprout, who's going to reap the benefits of all the things that we sow, not only the individual, but the community around that individual. So
Yes.
it's it's kind of that little, also another analogy would be a little, when you skim stones on the water and it makes all the little ripples, you just don't know how far that little stone will skip, right?
Yes. 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 Well, I thank you for sharing that. I did not know that. And so I'm glad that I asked that question because that's really a powerful beginning.
And
So
I've never looked back. I've
yeah,
never ever looked back. And it's
I
so,
do know that.
yes, never look back, always forward. And it's, Confucius says when you choose a job that you like, you never work a day in your life. That's
Yes.
exactly how I feel now.
I'm
Exactly how I feel.
oh, that's amazing. And for it to touch your culture as well, being written in Italian,
Yes,
anyway, just
absolutely.
amazing. Well, we are going to get to see you at the Montessori Advanced Studies Conference, and I'm wondering if you could just briefly, not reveal too much, but give us some tidbits about what you might be talking about during your sessions.
Okay, what I'm talking about is mathematics as a three-period lesson. So using the format of what we know as a three-period lesson to introduce language. But the three periods, as you know, are you're telling the child this is and saying the name, and then we go through a show me period, which we invite the child to make an association between the material that holds the concept and the name of the concept that you're saying in the second period as the guide. And then the third period, we say, what is this? And the child is going to give that information back to us, right? So I see mathematics, and I'm very, very excited about this. So I hope as many people as possible will attend because I think it will. First of all, I'm going to review all of math, but put it into chunks that we can really see the child's journey going through it and what our impact can be. So not only thinking about the materials, thinking about the child, but again, what our role is to mathematics and the beauty of mathematics. I'm always so concerned when I've had adult students in the training that say to me, I hate math and I was never good at math. And I want to kind of break that legacy because so many of our adults are really, really phobic, not just afraid, but actually phobic. And especially with our guides, I don't want our guides, to kind of remember what their own background was in mathematics and let that affect how they present mathematics to our children in the prepared environment. It's a beautiful thing that we do, and it's very, very easy and comfortable, not only for the child, but for us to present this information. And Dr. Marie Montessori created a beautiful plan for mathematics. And we're going to look at those early exercises as the this is, and then exercises kind of in the middle of that child's journey as the show me what is this, point to that, point to this. And then in that third period, in that final group of activities in mathematics, where the child really shows us what they have taken in from the mathematics and is so easy to return that information and show us that they understand not only the numbers, but their value and the operations and how numbers relate to each other, and really that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beauty of mathematics. And having that by age 6 is
Oh,
now we know that these children are going to become those human beings. And we were just talking about sowing seeds that will be comfortable with mathematics because mathematics is inside and outside of us. And we need to give our children the right to literacy and the right to numeracy.
oh, I love it. Yes. And, I was even one who I was drawn to math, as a young person. But even given that, I am amazed at the process and the materials and the thought that went into this whole area of study. And also, I think something new that it sounds like you're also going to be touching on is just, I mean, math is everywhere.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
siloed. And so
No,
you really need to have that literacy that you're talking about because it's in all forms. Sometimes you don't even realize that that's the way that you're thinking is in a mathematical a way. So, oh, I'm
absolutely.
excited. Yeah, I'm excited for everyone.
I am so excited to present this, and I really, really want everyone to attend because I think they have this information, but I think we need to refresh it and revisit it to
Yes,
revitalize it.
yes, absolutely. We all need that.
We
So,
all we all you need it, I need it, everyone needs it. Doesn't matter at
everyone,
what level, if you're a practitioner, if you're a school owner, whatnot, we all need to revisit these things because they're fundamental to our practice and just components in a child's journey in terms of that information that comes in, the absorption, the practice of that information from the materials is necessary. And
yeah.
it's easy. It's going to be so easy. Yeah.
And it really, I think also refreshes just the way you talk about it. So when you have math tends to be one of, a couple of areas that parents tend to pay attention to, for lack of a
Yes.
better
Yes.
explanation. But I think they can just relate to it easier. But I think having these words and refreshing the words around how we do math is also very powerful. So not only in our work with the children, which is most important, but also in terms of being able to explain what we do and how we do it.
Yes, absolutely. And, it took me a while, I think, to realize how math was set up in this way, like as a first period, a second period, and a third period. And it
Hmm.
took me stepping back and looking at the big picture and then the small components within that big picture. And I thought to myself, was it there all the time? And I just was blind to it, I mean, I've been doing this for how many years? But sometimes, hearing different voices and looking at it from a different perspective just allows you to go back into the classroom renewed and more ready and more ready. And that's what I want for our group, just to really come back to enjoying the work that they took up how many years ago.
Yeah. Well, I'll be transparent. And when you told me this is what you were talking about, I also had kind of a little aha moment. So thank you because I hadn't really looked at it in that way, but it makes so much sense when you actually say those words. So thank you. And then and is that what you're looking most forward to in presenting at the Montessori Advanced Studies Conference, or what are you looking most forward to at
Oh
this event?
gosh,
Yeah,
so many things. I mean, I think to be with colleagues and old friends and new friends, I think it's a gathering. It's a gathering of like-minded people. So right away, that's a celebration. Right
yay.
away, that's a beautiful, beautiful celebration. We need these moments to come together, as I say, with like-minded people and remind ourselves of the great work that we are doing on behalf of the child and to celebrate that from all aspects, not just from the topic, but of sharing stories with one another and being engaged with one another. Because sometimes we're like little islands all alone in our classrooms, and we forget there's this greater community of support for one another and not to be so isolated. So people need to come out because you are not alone. We are together. We are very, very strong. We're stronger together than we are separate. And I think these moments are priceless for this. And I love math, so it's going to be just a treat for me to chat about something that I love. So you've given me the opportunity to chat about what I like and love and to be with people that I know I will enjoy. So I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Oh,
I don't want time to pass, but I want it to come.
I know. I am right there with you. Well, thank you for spending some time with me this morning. And thank you for all of those words and for sharing them. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you in San Diego.
Thank
So
you, Debbie. So am
thank
I.
you.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you.
You too. Thank you so much.